guys, Meredith with ExtremeTerrain.com, and today we are checking out the Bestop Ascent Soft Top in Black Diamond, fitting all 2007 through 2018 four-door JK Wranglers. Now, if you're in search of a functional soft top that's going to transform very easily whenever you need it to, especially if you enjoy open air rides in your JK more often than not, this is going to be a great solution for you. This will be a quality way to get a long-lasting top for your Wrangler while also saving a few bucks, being one of the most affordable Bestop options in the category if you know you want a more premium top but don't want to go overboard. Now, it's also great whether you are coming from a soft top and want a full and well-built replacement for your entire system, or you have a hard top and want to make the switch but need all of the hardware that comes with it. Now, the biggest benefits of this top come with how easily you can transform this whenever you want to enjoy that more open air ride, and will help you control how open you want to go with the top. Now, just like most other Bestop choices, this will have a Sunrider feature where you can unlatch the two hooks on the header and flip the top back to expose just the front two seats. Now, you can also opt to take the back windows off very easily, opening up the entire back compared to more limited soft top options, transforming this into a bikini top or a safari style top, letting air in from the back with the Sunrider open or the Sunrider closed. Now, the windows will have a hybrid zipper and C-channel design, making them very easy to take off and to reinstall when the time comes. Now, those options will also allow you to just get a very open experience without having to fold the entire top back, keeping mostly everything in place for a hassle-free experience. Now, the fabric is one of the most, if not the most important parts of this top, and it's made of a 22 to 23 ounce black diamond vinyl, which is a little lighter than the standard 28 ounce fabric, being easier to handle and ultimately saving you a little bit of cash when upgrading. Now, this will be weather resistant and ultra UV resistant as well to help with the lifespan of the vinyl, and the seams on the inside, as you can see here, are going to be heat sealed for a sturdy build. Now, it's also going to come with a high quality frame, door surrounds, and a tailgate bar, all made with powder coated lightweight metal and molded plastic to ensure a solid fit and a very easy to operate construction. Now, the windows in the back will have a thick 30 mil tinted construction, being durable and helping with insulation and style for the back of this top. Now, it will also come with all of the hardware needed, a pre-assembled and pre-installed header, and even an assist cable to help out when it comes to flipping that Sunrider feature back. Now, this will come in at about $850, making it one of your most inexpensive Bestop options and right in the middle of the road compared to others in the category. Now, there's no denying that this is going to have a quality construction and very usable function, even if it is more on the budget-friendly side of Bestop's spectrum. Now, it will be on the lighter side of material and a little more limited in configurations compared to its counterparts like the truck top or the super top, but it will be a big step up compared to some other entry-level choices. And I think if you want a Bestop and you also want to save a little bit of money for some other mods while still getting a quality soft top for your JK, this is going to be a fantastic choice to pick. Now, this will be a 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, and it should only take you about 2 hours or so to get this installed. Now, I do recommend working with the weather on this one. Laying the top in the sun or installing this on a warmer day is definitely going to help the fabric stretch and make your life a whole lot easier when it comes time to put this on your JK. Now, at this point, we can head over to our shop and check out a detailed breakdown on how you can get this onto your Jeep at home. So that is going to wrap it up for my review. Let's go ahead and jump into the install.
For this install, you will need an impact or a ratchet, an adapter if necessary, 8 and 13 millimeter sockets, T25, T30, T40, and T50 Torx bits, an 8 millimeter wrench, a Phillips head screwdriver. Also not shown here is a razor blade or a knife, and an extra set of hands. What's up, guys? Today we're going to be installing a new top on our Wrangler, so let's get started. Now, before we get started, one thing to note is we are starting with our factory top off our Jeep already. Now, we all know that Jeeps come with various different tops, soft or hard, so whichever top you have is going to dictate the removal process, which you will need to do before beginning this install. So now we're coming over to our passenger side to get a little better a view of our install. We're going to start with putting our rear door frames on. So these come folded up. You can simply unfold them, get them locked into place. We're gonna set this in position. Now this has a dowel at the bottom that's gonna line up with the opening right here. And then our C-clamp threaded mount is gonna go right into that rear mounting point on our roll bar. You wanna make sure that front part sits in the little grommet up here. And we'll get our bolt hole lined up with our opening on our roll bar and grab our 80mm T40 Torx bolt. Send that through. Get it hand tight for now. Now you want to grab a T40 Torx socket and either an impact or a ratchet. If you feel confident with not over tightening your bolts with an impact, use that. If so, use a ratchet and we'll tighten this down. Then we can do the same thing for the other side. So next we can install our front door top rail. Now you will notice that we don't have the padding on our sport bars for ours. Ours did not have the access holes for our mounting points and we opted not to cut into those for demonstration purposes. You may or may not need to cut slits in yours to access this mounting hole on yours at home. For ours, we're just gonna leave it off. So we'll get this in place. Now this is gonna line up with the rear door mount and sit in place at the edge of our weather stripping and seals up front. And we're gonna grab another T40 Torx bolt by 80mm length and get that through the top of our C-clamp threaded insert here. So we'll get our mounting bolt in, get that started. Hand tight. Once again, grab our T40 Torx bit and our impact and tighten this down. Again, you don't want to over tighten your hardware. Once you have this side in, you can repeat this same process for the other side. Next, we can install our Sunrider bracket. That's going to go over top of where our front and rear door brackets meet. And that has a recess to slot right in there and go over top of the mounting hole, and you want this bracket to be towards the outside of the vehicle. And we'll line these up and get our T50 Torx bolt in position. Get this started. You want that to fit flush around this inner edge. Then we can grab our T50 Torx bit and tighten this down. You want to make sure these are lined up as best you can. It'll give you a nice smooth door sill. Now once you have this side on, you can do the same thing for the other side. So now we can come to the back of our Jeep and install our rear clips. Now these are labeled for right hand and left hand. The main thing is you want your button clips to be on the outer sides of the vehicle. So we've got our right hand one and our left hand that's going to go towards the driver's side. We'll set this over here, then we'll hook this in place right here on the edge of the door. So you want to get this edge and lip with the button on it under this side of the back of the Jeep. Hook that in position. Then we'll bring this over, pull it until it locks into place. And once you have this one on, you can do the same thing for your other one. So now we've come to our rear cross member section and we're going to install our cable brackets. Now these are labeled R and L for right and left. Right is going to be your passenger side, left is going to be your driver's side. Now our rear covers for our roll bar have already been cut. Again, at home, if you need to, you will need to use a utility knife or cutters or whatever you have to cut through this fabric and gain access to this forward 13mm bolt on your main bracket. And what we're going to do is grab our 13mm socket and remove that bolt. Take that off. We're going to take our bracket, slot that in, line that up with our bolt hole. Then we'll get this bolt back into place. Make sure our bracket is sitting square. You can push it forward from the front. That tab's going to keep it square. And we'll grab our 13mm socket again and tighten this right back down. Cover that back up. And we can do the same thing for the other side. Now we can install our rear support bow. So this is going to go right on our rear door frame bracket that we already installed. Lay that over our 2 bolt holes on each side. Then we'll go down and install our hardware. Now we're going to come up from underneath with our T25 Torx bolts. So we'll get our lock nuts on. You want at least a couple threads on so they'll hold it in place. Get our other one on. Now once you get these 2 loosely in place, you want to get your other 2 bolts on loosely before you tighten these down to make sure everything is going to sit nice and even. Then we'll come back and tighten down all of our hardware. And once we have all of our hardware in place, we'll come back with our 8mm wrench and a T25 Torx bit and tighten down all of our hardware. So now we can get ready to install our middle bow in front of our mid-cross member. Now again, just like with our rear section, we already have slits in our cover, which you will need to cut some slits into this if you wish to access your mounting bolts. So we'll grab our 13mm socket yet again and pull this hardware out. And you want to take the one out on the other side as well. So now once we have our hardware out of the way, we can open the slit we cut into our cover, and we'll line up our mounting points on our bow. Now you want this to be facing the rear of the vehicle and the bow itself to be facing towards the front. And we'll get that factory bolt back into place loosely. We'll get the other one in place as well, and then we'll come back and tighten these down. Now we'll grab our 13mm socket and tighten down our hardware. And you can put your cover back around the hardware as best you can get it, and do the same thing for the other side. So now we've gone ahead and grabbed our top itself. Now we do have it still in part of our packaging. This is just to keep it out of the way of any dirt or debris that could be on the ground or floor wherever you're working. You want to keep this as clean as possible to avoid having to clean it thoroughly or anything excessive once you install it. So we've got our outer support bows, and they're going to go onto our mounting points at our header. Now you want the recessed side of this slotted bracket to face the outside of the vehicle. So we're over on what is going to be the passenger side. So we've got this facing out, and this little Phillips head screw is going to face inside of the vehicle. So we'll get this onto our mounting point, and we want to line up the 2 mounting holes. Once you have these 2 lined up, you're going to grab your longer Phillips head screws, send those up through what would currently be the bottom. This is going to be a little finicky to get them through. You may have to thread them through a bit. You can even use your Phillips head screwdriver if you need to. Now once you get that first screw through, you want to grab one of your lock nuts. Get that started. We can install our second screw. Now these are color matched for sides. Now once you have both of these in, take our Phillips head screwdriver, hold that down. You can grab an 8mm socket either on an impact or a ratchet and tighten these down. Now we can do the same thing for the other side. So now we can install our foam strip seals at the front corner sections of our top. Now our thinner rectangular one, we're going to peel the backing off that. That is going to go right where the plastic portion of our front mounting bracket ends. So we're going to go right to the edge, stick that in place like so. And we have one with some slots cut out of the edges. That is going to cover our mounting screws for our top. So we'll start right down here, that over that section. And line that up right along the edge of our bracket. Make sure that's nice and secure. Do the same thing for the other side. So for our next step, we're going to be placing our top onto our Jeep. We're going to place the front mounting section where it's supposed to go and lay the rest of the top over the front of the Jeep so we have access to mount everything in place. For that, you're definitely going to need an extra set of hands to make things easier. So we're going to grab a buddy and get this laid up in position. Now we can get our rear bow mounts to our Sunrider brackets. We're going to slot in between those. We're going to grab our T30 shoulder bolts, get this lined up, get that in position. Then we can grab our T30 Torx bit and tighten these down. Now once you have this side on, you can do the same thing for the other side. So now we can attach our rear bow to what is going to be the rear of our top. We have this panel that has slight little pilot holes in it for our Phillips head screws. We have openings along our rear bow for those Phillips head screws. So we're going to get this lined up, grab a Phillips head screwdriver along with our self-tapping Phillips head screws and get this in place. So now the easiest way to get this lined up is we're going to start at one end. We're also going to put one at the other end just to make sure everything is centered. So we'll pull our fabric up as well as our bow. You're going to find that pilot hole in your fabric. You want to get it to where the point of that screw at least comes through. You can even thread it through a little bit. Get it through your fabric first. Then we're going to find that first hole on our bow. Get that lined up. Get that one in. And once you have that one in, we'll do the same thing for the rest of our screws. Next, we need to attach our push clips to our little end tabs. Get these lined up. Pop that through. Push that clip into place and do the same thing for the other side. So now we brought back our second set of hands and we're going to fold the entire top back over the vehicle and then we'll fold the front of the top back to access that. So now we're at the back of our Jeep and we're going to need to get this rear bow mounted onto our rear cross member. Now for this one, to gain access to the hardware, you can simply unzip your cover. You want to look for this 13mm bolt. We'll grab our 13mm socket and pop both of these out, one on each side. And we can pull our bow down into position. That lined up, and we'll reinstall our factory hardware. So we'll get this lined up, then reinstall that 13mm bolt. Then you want to get the other side in place and we'll tighten both of these down. Again with our 13mm socket. Then you can re-zip your cover up to the brackets. Next we can hook our springs into our bracket. Go there. And you want to make sure your cable comes underneath this holder bolt. You can do the same thing for the other side. Now we can begin attaching our side windows. So we're going to start with our upper track that's going to cover our spring. So we're going to line this up, get that into our track. Sure that lines up with the door. We'll get our underside hooked into our trim on the bottom of our body. And we're gonna leave this folded up for now, just so we make sure we get everything else in place. We'll get our other side window in as well. And once we get our windows attached, we can attach our buttons. We want to do the same thing for the other side. Now that we have our side windows in, we can begin installing our rear window. Now this window has zippers on each side that we need to get started. So we'll do that first. You're gonna need to fold the zipper out like so. We'll get this side into our zipper track. You want to get this a little bit down so it holds it in place, and we'll get the other side started. So now we're also going to need to attach our plastic retainer at the top of our window to our top itself. Now, if you are having trouble getting this in place, because it can be pretty tight, especially if it's cold out, you can unzip one side of your window. Don't unzip both sides. It's going to make it a little bit easier to get this up into place. You can get this lined up. Get it hooked in. All right, so now once you've got your top track in place, this may be pretty difficult to get the zipper back in on this side. So what you can do if you're really struggling, because a lot of times these windows are pretty stiff right out of the gate. So to make things a little bit easier, we're gonna unhook the bottom section of our side window. We're gonna leave that one attached. You only want to do this one side at a time to keep everything in place. So you remember you have that button, you need to unhook that. And you can pop this window out of its bottom track. That's going to give you enough room to bring this back in. Get that zipper back in place. Now again, you want to zip this down a good couple of inches. That's going to hold this together, and we can get the bottom of our window back into place. So now we'll hook the bottom portion of our window back into place. Now this is going to be tighter than it was originally. Work that back in. Don't forget you have these panels as well. Make sure they go underneath the track. And we'll go around and reconnect that button. So next we can install our tailgate bar. So it has a channel that the attached track at the bottom of our window is going to ride in. Get that in. Make sure this is centered on our tailgate clips. And we'll rotate this down into position. Make sure that locks in. We can pull our zippers down. Now out of the gate, these are going to be pretty stiff, but they will relax over time, especially if you let it sit out in the sun. Definitely relax the fabric. Once you get this all the way down, you can hook the clips underneath those tailgate brackets. We'll do the same thing on this side. Now before we attach the Velcro to the rear of our top, we're going to fold the front forward. As you can see, it's pretty stiff, so we'll go into the vehicle and pull this down and latch it in place. So we're inside the vehicle, we're going to grab the header of the top and pull this down. Get this latched into position. You have to fold these out. Latched in and lock both of them down. Now that we have the front latched in place, we can start attaching our rear section Velcro. Again, this is going to take some effort the first time you fold this over. It tends to be pretty stiff. You even have to reach inside. Now once you get this side in place, you can do the same thing for the other side. Now lastly, we can come inside the vehicle and get our Velcro straps around our middle bows. And once you have this one in, you can do the same thing for the rear bow. Alrighty guys, that about wraps up our review and install of our best top, Ascent Soft Top in Black Diamond finish for your 07 to 18 Jeep Wrangler JK 4-door. Thanks for watching, and as always, for everything Wrangler, keep it right here at ExtremeTerrain.com.